Want to make Minecraft thumbnails like this? Stay tuned and I'll teach you how to make my thumbnails. The first thing I do is log into this creative world that I have that just has a bunch of like evenly spaced platforms made out of wool. I have about every wool color here. So for this video, I'll use this blue platform, and in my inventory, I have matching armor for it. So here, there's a website that you can go to get commands to make these, but you can also just do this. You'll also get blue armor. Only problem is it's a little more muted than I like. I like to have the bright blue, which again, I'll put it in the description, but I use a website to make these and they end up coming out pretty good. So now what I'll do is I'll go into my badline settings. I make sure to have ReplayMod on, and then my keybind to start recording is P. So you can see right down here, I have a little recording icon that says, hey, you're recording right now. What I like to do is I just like to go to one of the long corners and I'll just look up a little bit, move around, and swing my sword. And I'll do this a couple times just to make sure I get the right angle. And what I'm thinking about here is just looking a little above, like straight. Like I don't want to look right here. I like to look up a little bit just so it looks like I'm looking up a little bit in the thumbnail. Now, once I'm done with that, I'll hit P again, stop recording, and then I'll close out of this world and go to replays. Now you see here we have our replay, and now what I'll do is I'll go and turn my FOV to 30, and I'll just start the replay recording and wait until I get into a good spot for the thumbnail. So right here, I think this is a pretty decent angle. So now what I'll do is I'll go into F1 and I'll just get as close as possible to my character while also putting it in the spot I want it to be in the thumbnail. So I want it to be on the left side like this. So I'll just make sure I get the right angle and then hit F2 to take a screenshot. Then what I'll do is I'll get in line with the platform right here, and then I'll click F2 again, just make sure I'm evenly in line. There we go. And now I need a sky. Now this pack right here, Duck Pack by L4RT02, is the one that I usually use for my skies. I just really like the look of this. It's extremely vibrant, and for the sky, I like to go into the normal FOV, and then I'll also turn my render distance down to 2, just so I can get a good, like, full picture of it. I'll just look around, find a good spot. I think this right here is pretty nice, so I'll just take a screenshot of that by clicking F2. Now we have to go into Photopea, which is my editor of choice, to edit this. So now we're on Photopea. The website is literally just photopea.com, and I actually have a saved preset for this. I'll put a Mediafire link in the description, and I use this live Bedwars guide, and it'll bring up this thumbnail that I made a decent amount of time ago. So now what I'll do is I'll go to my screenshots folder and I will input all of the screenshots that I just took, and I'll start by dragging the one with my player character up to the top. I'll zoom in, make sure I'm selected on it, and choose the pen tool right here, and again make sure I'm clicked on it, and I'll just start outlining my character, giving a little room so I don't get the parts where my character is like mixed in with the sky, just so that when I put a filter on it, it doesn't kind of like blend in with the sky and put a weird outline on it. And now some keybinds that might be helpful is if you press space, you can drag the image with your mouse. Alt lets you zoom in and out like this. Alt plus scroll wheel lets you zoom in and out. And then if you need to, if you double tap space, it'll bring you back to fitting the image right here. So now again, all I'm just going to do here is outline my player character like this. Make sure I get everything I need to include in it. Honestly, you don't need to be super accurate with this. As long as you get most of the character, it'll look good, because 9 times out of 10, your YouTube thumbnail isn't going to be extremely high size. So people aren't going to see a bunch of the mistakes that you make. Now that we're back at the start, you just join them, hit Control Enter, make sure we're clicked on the image that has the player character in it. Then you hit Control C, then Control V, and then it'll paste this layer right here, which has your character on it. And then you can just delete that other layer. So now you'll just have a character right there cut out. Next, what I'll do is drag up the image that I had for the background, like the platform right here. And what I'll do is I'll zoom in until I get this grid, go back to the pen tool, make sure I'm clicked on the one with the platform, and I'll just outline the entirety of the platform. Join those together, Control Enter, make sure I'm on the platform, Control C, Control V. Then you can delete the one you're just working on. And now I'll drag the image of my sky up here, And now you can see we have a pretty good framework for the entire image already. Now this is optional, but something I like to do to make the platform look a little nicer is right here, if you click on add raster mask, and you go to the gradient tool, make sure it's on black to white, and then you make sure you're clicked on the raster mask, this little thing right here. Zoom in a little bit, find somewhat near the center of your image, go here, and then just go down a little bit. You can see it kind of blends it in with the background a little more, so it kind of just doesn't jut in like it did before. So now it kind of blends into the background. And before we go anywhere else, I have these layer styles, these blending option layer styles on this. So I just like to copy and paste these from the ones that I have on it. So after I do that, I'll do the layer style for the background right there. So you can see it just adds a little bit of contrast to it, a little bit of shadows and extra brightness and stuff. You want to see what those look like? They just look like this. There's a little inner glow. Here are the settings. And then a gradient overlay right here. And then for the background, it just has a gradient overlay. So next, I have this text that I already have saved on this file. So if you download that, you'll have this file saved. And let's say I'm making a thumbnail for, again, live Bedwars. What I'll do is I'll just change the color of this to blue just to match everything. And you can see we have a basic completed thumbnail. Now at this point, I'll just get rid of all of those things in the background just so the file size isn't as humongous as it normally is. And then here you can see I have this little I have some different edits right here, which again, if you download the PSD file from the Mediafire link in the description, it'll have this thing already in it. And if you just put all your stuff in there, it'll give all your stuff some extra saturation. So yeah, that's how I make my thumbnails. And then I just go here, export as PNG. I usually do it as 1280 by 720 just because you don't need to have 1920 by 1080. Just click save, done, go to files, downloads, and right here, here's our thumbnail. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want more helpful tutorial style videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below if you want anything else that I do specifically. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.